I'm Liyana Hassanel, and this is Nightline, the top stories. All vessels from global Sumud Flotilla successfully enter first red zone. And U.S. government shuts down after Congress fails to reach funding agreement. The headlining story. The global Sumud Flotilla convoy has successfully entered the first of 3 red zones and is now moving closer to Gaza. Sumud Nusantara Flotilla Command Center Director General and spokesperson Datuk Sani Arabi Abdul Alim said the first vessel to enter the zone was Seoul at around 9:20 p.m. Malaysian time. After entering the first zone, the convoy will have to pass through 2 more high-risk zones before reaching Gaza port. Sani said the convoy is now in the most critical phase of the mission, as it is moving through areas highly prone to attacks by Zionist forces. The fleet, which currently comprises 42 vessels, is expected to arrive in Gaza on Thursday by 1:41 p.m. local time, or 6:41 p.m. Malaysian time. The red zones are located around 100 nautical miles from the Gaza coast. Earlier, the international flotilla trying to deliver aid to Gaza on Wednesday said Israeli vessels approached some of its boats and engaged in dangerous and intimidatory maneuvers as it neared the war-stricken strip. The mission's organizers said 2 Israeli warships rapidly approached and encircled 2 of the flotilla's boats. Soon after, all navigation and communication systems went down, which one organizer described as a cyber attack. The flotilla, however, later appeared to recover its communications network. In the meantime, Qatar's Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Jassim Al Thani said the Gaza ceasefire plan unveiled by U.S. President Donald Trump meets the key goals set by mediators and urged all sides to seize the momentum to bring Israel's war to an end. He said Doha had passed a plan, already backed by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, to Hamas's negotiating team and discussed its broad terms. Hamas, however, has yet to give an official reply. This comes as Israel's relentless strikes on Gaza continue, killing at least 45 people since dawn. No one is exempt from investigation by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, including those who have contributed significantly to the nation or hold considerable influence. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim stressed that past contributions cannot be used as a shield to prevent action from being taken against any party. Instead, he said integrity and transparency must be upheld to save the country from the scourge of corruption. Speaking at the MACC's 58th anniversary celebration and the launch of the Keep Malaysia Clean initiative, Anwar commended the bold steps taken by the Commission. He acknowledged that the graft buster faces significant risks when investigating individuals with influence and extraordinary wealth.
Kalau saya tangkap orang rasuah di pejabat daerah RM1,000-5,000 itu selamat. Kalau saudara geledah orang yang ratusan juta ringgit dan bilion ringgit, risikonya besar. Sokongan tak banyak.
Anwar also criticized those who questioned the MACC's actions against certain figures on the grounds that they had made past contributions.
Tukang cuci ini pun ada jasa. Pengulu ada jasa. Ya. Yang paling korup pun ada jasa. Kalau saudara lihat dalam sejarah, kalau baca salah satu kupasan salah seorang alim, sufi, dia terang pasal Firaun. Firaun tu ada jasa. Dia bagi makan orang ribu-ribu satu hari. Dia bagi gaji pekerja dia ribu-ribu. Jasa lah tu.
He further emphasized that the government fully supports the MACC's efforts to rid the country of corruption. At the same event, MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki announced that the proposed Deferred Prosecution Agreement, or DPA bill, is expected to be tabled at the first parliamentary sitting next year. According to Azam, the bill will strengthen the legal framework to combat corporate corruption and expedite the recovery of national assets. The legislation is also expected to significantly enhance the effectiveness of prosecution and anti-corruption enforcement, while reducing the loss of public funds through abuse of power.
Di mana dalam hal ini, satu pendakwaan itu boleh ditangguhkan bagi kes-kes yang besar, di mana di sini akan diperkenalkan satu bentuk polisi bagi kes-kes berkaitan supaya pemulihan aset itu dapat dibuat dengan lebih berkesan lagi.
To date, the MACC has successfully recovered more than 28 billion ringgit in assets. Speaking to reporters later, Azam revealed that the MACC is awaiting a decision from the Attorney General's chambers on the case involving former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob.
Ya, saya hanya menunggu daripada Peguam Negara sama ada kesnya nak diteruskan untuk menuduh atau tidak, itu saja. Terpulang kepada beliau, tetapi as for asset recovery, we had done our part. And then all the assets have been recovered. Itu saja.
Earlier on Wednesday, more than 169 million ringgit in cash, allegedly belonging to Ismail Sabri, was officially forfeited to the government. Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court Judge Susanna Hussain made the ruling after allowing the prosecution's application to seize the funds, as no third party with an interest in the matter had come forward to contest the forfeiture. During proceedings on September 8th, the court was informed that the Bura Member of Parliament and his former political secretary, Datuk Muhammad Anwar Muhammad Yunus, who was named as a respondent, did not intend to contest the prosecution's application. Previously, it was reported that the MACC had seized nearly 170 million in cash in various foreign currencies, along with 16 kilograms of gold bars valued at nearly 7 million ringgit. The success of SK Putrajaya Precinct 11-1, named the winner of the 2025 World's Best School Prize in the Supporting Healthy Lives category by T4 Education, reflects the very best of Malaysia's educational practices. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the achievement demonstrates how innovation and best practices in schools can serve as an inspiration to the world. In a social media post on Wednesday, Anwar congratulated the school community, the Education Ministry and all those involved, adding that the victory not only brings prestige to Malaysia on the global education stage, but also stands as a true embodiment of the Malaysia Madani spirit in educating, inspiring and shaping the future. The win was achieved through the Healthy Mental Health application, developed by the school to provide psychosocial support to students, helping raise awareness and offer assistance for their mental health. So far, more than 1,000 students have benefited from it. Minister Fadlina Siddiq said the ministry will explore adopting the app nationwide, including expanding its features and supporting the school in developing further innovations.
Apps yang dibangunkan itu adalah apps yang sangat menakjubkan. Helpy ni tujuannya adalah untuk menangani isu kesihatan mental yang bagi saya ketika ini sangat kritikal untuk kita tangani secara bersama.
Teacher Muhammad Saharuddin Sitapa, who is also the Helpy Project Coordinator, said the app has been proven to have a positive impact on students.
Melalui pengguna aplikasi Helpy ni di sekolah kami banyaklah dia punya kesan-kesan positif, yang mana melalui aplikasi ni kita dapat lihatlah murid-murid lebih yakin, lebih berani bila mereka nak berkongsi.
14-year-old Muhammad Muhriz Marzuki, who led the initial development of Helpy in 2023, explained that the idea was born to support classmates struggling with assignment-related stress. The app, designed for easy access, helps students regulate their emotions effectively.
Sebab banyak sangat dekat tempat lain, macam banyak sangat buku, banyak sangat artikel. So sekarang kan dalam generasi digital, supaya kita buatlah apps supaya nak match dengan budak-budak.
As long as the students' mental health is stable, it's really easy for them to learn. Their learning improves as long as they just have a sense of security.
SK Putrajaya Precinct 11-1 is the first Malaysian school to clinch this prestigious award, receiving a cash prize of $50,000 or approximately 235,000 ringgit. As for the recognition, 3 representatives from the school will attend the 2025 World School Summit from November 13th to 20th at the Yasmina British Academy in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Former Armed Forces Chief General Tun Muhammad Hashim Muhammad Ali was laid to rest with full military honours at Raudatul Sakinah Cemetery in Sungai Besi, Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday evening. He was buried at 10:30 p.m. beside the grave of his wife, the late Puan Sri Datin Majmin Datuk Yahya, who passed away in 2021. Armed Forces Chief General Tan Sri Muhammad Nizam Jafar presented the Jalur Gemilang to the late Hashim's eldest son in a ceremony symbolizing the military's highest honor for his service and contributions to the nation. Earlier funeral prayers were held at Masjid Khalid Al-Walid, attended by more than 200 people, including family members, friends and military personnel. The late Hashim's sister, Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah Muhammad Ali, and Defence Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Khalid Nordin were also present. Hashim passed away at the age of 90 at a private hospital in the capital at 11:52 a.m. on Wednesday due to a stroke. He is survived by 3 children and 5 grandchildren. A primary school pupil died after being found unconscious at a school in Senawang, Negeri Sembilan on Wednesday. A police probe into the incident is currently underway. Education Minister Fadlina Siddiq said her ministry is allowing the police space to conduct their investigation, while also focusing on the emotional well-being of pupils and teachers at the affected school.
Benar, sementara kita menunggu siasatan penuh daripada pihak polis. Di peringkat kita juga bagi memastikan bahawa kita dapat memberikan tumpuan penuh ketika ini kepada proses psikososial dan sokongan emosi kepada pelajar-pelajar dan guru-guru di sekolah.
Fadlina also urged the public not to speculate and to respect the privacy of the victim's family. Negeri Sembilan Police Chief Datuk Al-Zafni Ahmad said they received a report on the incident at 1:19 p.m. before a team was dispatched to the scene. Based on preliminary information, the Year 4 pupil was last seen leaving class at 12:10 p.m. before being found unconscious within the school compound. The victim was rushed to the hospital but was later pronounced dead. Former Perak Exco member Paul Yong Chu Kyong was ordered to begin serving his 8-year prison sentence and receive 2 strokes of the cane after the federal court on Wednesday upheld his conviction for raping his Indonesian mate 6 years ago. A 3-judge panel led by Chief Justice Datuk Sri Wan Ahmad Farid Wan Saleh unanimously dismissed Yong's final appeal against both his conviction and sentence. Also on the bench were federal court judges Datuk Nordin Hassan and Datuk Hanifah Fariqullah. In delivering the judgment, Wan Ahmad Farid said the conviction was safe and that the majority decision at the Court of Appeal was appropriate. On August 23, 2019, at the Ipoh Sessions Court, Yong claimed trial to 1 count of raping his mate between 8:15 p.m. and 9:15 p.m. at his home in Meru Desa Park on July 7th the same year. The Employees Provident Fund will begin enforcing mandatory contributions for non-Malaysian workers starting with October wages. Under the new policy, both employers and employees must each contribute 2% of monthly wages. In a statement on Wednesday, EPF said the coverage applies to all foreign employees with valid passports and employment passes, excluding domestic servants. The fund is also collaborating with the Immigration Department to enhance data and system integration, allowing secure information exchange on valid work pass holders. Employers who have not registered with the EPF are required to do so online via its official website or at any of its offices nationwide. Employees are also advised to complete their thumbprint registration at the nearest EPF office beginning January 2026. Non-household sector loans continued to expand in August, rising 5% year-on-year compared to 4.7% in July. RHB Investment Bank attributed the growth mainly to higher lending in the financial, transportation and communications, as well as wholesale and retail trade sectors. The firm reported that household loans grew by 5.7%, with growth mainly coming from residential mortgages and auto loans, while personal loans trailed behind the system average. Meanwhile, Maybank Investment Bank noted that working capital loans grew to 4.8% last month, compared with 4.1% in July. Overall industry loan growth remained stable at 5.4% year-on-year. Woman pleads guilty to selling baby for 2,000 ringgit. More from the local front after this break.
Who are you?
Aku Sore, istri kamu dari masa depan.
The best content doesn't just entertain, it sells. At Content Berhangat, we build campaigns that move customers from watching to buying. From screen to store, we know how to make every second of attention count. Custom advertising campaigns built for your business. Professional ads that put you in the spotlight. Exclusive rates you won't find anywhere else. It's not just advertising, it's real business growth. Register now at advantagersvp.com.
Sore, kalau emang kamu mau mati lebih dulu ya udah, nggak usah dengerin aku lagi.
Jangan nak ubah orang. Kalau orang nak berubah, dia akan ubah diri sendiri. So there's a lot of like psychological message.
Cinta seorang isteri, dia sanggup buat macam-macam demi husband and wife ni. So the concept tu very touching lah.
Antara kasih, sayang, cinta sejati, harapan, impian dan juga penyesalan, anda kena tonton filem ni, khususnya golongan wanita.
Aku Sore, istri kamu dari masa depan.
Terbaru dituntut.
Aku just nak tolong kau, Jelisa. Ya, tolong jahanamkan aku dulu.
Haris dengarlah saya cakap Mi. Please, Haris jangan saman saya.
Betul ke tunang kau ada orang lain?
Orang lain?
Ya Allah, tak sangkanya. Dekat kawasan rumah saya ni, ada artis.
Artis? Bukan saya yang artis.
Muat turun dan layan tonton sekarang. Semua favourite anda di sini.
Welcome back. A joint raid by authorities on an illegal electronic waste processing factory in Gurun, Kedah led to the arrest of 21 individuals. The 11 a.m. operation on Tuesday also led to the seizure of thousands of tons of recyclable waste, along with vehicles and industrial machinery, with an estimated total value of 71.8 million ringgit. Federal Reserve Unit Commander Rosli Mat Yusof said the 21 individuals detained were factory workers, comprising 1 local man and 20 foreigners from Pakistan, Bangladesh, India and Myanmar. Further checks inside the premises uncovered piles of electric cables, copper, aluminium, electronic components and 1,043 large bags of plastic. He added that the workers had been taken to the Kuala Muda Police Headquarters for further investigations under the Immigration Act. The seized waste and equipment were handed to the Department of Environment for analysis. Further investigations are also being carried out under the Environmental Quality Act. A young mother pleaded guilty at the Malacca Sessions Court on Wednesday to a charge of selling her baby daughter for cash due to financial difficulties. The sentence for 22-year-old Yan Chin Ding, however, was adjourned to October 14th, pending the prosecution's presentation of case facts. The woman was found to have handed over the care of her 3-month-old baby to a couple aged 51 and 35 from Perak in exchange for 2,000 ringgit. The offence took place in front of a laundry service in Malacca Tengah on September 17th. The baby is now under the care of the Social Welfare Department. The accused has 2 other children aged 3 and 2 who are currently being looked after by their grandparents. Judge Rohatul Akmar Abdullah granted bail of 8,000 ringgit with 1 surety and ordered Yan to report to the nearest police station once a month until the case is concluded. In Kelantan, a business owner was charged at the Kota Baru Sessions Court on Wednesday with possessing 15,483 kilograms of cooking oil in bulk without a valid license. The accused, 28-year-old Ahmad Nizamuddin Setapa, pleaded not guilty after the charges were read before Judge Nikhabri Muhammad. Nizamuddin was charged with possessing 7,135 kilograms of the controlled item at a shop premises in Kampung Nibong, Beris, near Bachok, on November 22nd, 2022. He also faced another charge of possessing 8,348 kilograms of cooking oil in front of the Kota Baru police station on November 24th, 2022. The charges were framed under the Control of Supplies Act. The court granted the accused 15,000 ringgit bail and fixed October 29th for next case mention. Death toll from Cebu earthquake rises to 69. The details when Nightline returns.
Fan nombor 1, itu memang kamu. Jangan tunggu. Vote laju-laju. Undi calon 2037. Kita bagi kecoh. Nombor 1. Bintang paling popular. You are the one. Kita tentukan. ABTDH 37. Satu keunggulan. Memang tiada lawan. Show undi straight sampai 9 November. Scan the QR. Scan the QR. Cepat undi-undi. Benda free. Tak cukup. Kita gada lagi.
Wah, Ania dapat kawan baru yang boleh nampak masa depan.
Awak dah selamatkan nyawa saya ke?
Lagi huru-hara bila ada yang nak campur tangan.
Awak tak apa-apa ke ni?
Keluarga saya akan syak nanti kalau saya hilang lama sangat.
Ini panggilan kecemasan.
Apa nak buat ni? Kita berdua akan selesaikan kes ni dan selamatkan dunia hari ini.
Spy X Family. Kini dalam versi bahasa Melayu. Setiap Ahad 11 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Sorry. Yandi selalu sentuh perasaan orang.
Filem Indonesia yang saya rasa udah nggak ada lagi yang lebih baik dari Sorry.
Pasal cinta, pasal takdir, inspirasi sangat-sangat best guys.
Sumpah worth to watch banget. Kalian harus nonton. Wajib banget nonton atau enggak kalian akan ketinggalan sesuatu yang very happening now. 10/10. 100 out of 10.
Aku Sore, istri kamu dari masa depan.
Sorry. Patut ke I perjuangkan percintaan kita ni, Alia, atau I memang bodoh?
Tapi tak apalah. Awak handsome punya pasal, saya bagi.
Berani kau curi rekod video aku,
Alia, kenapa you tiba-tiba tampar Lisa ni? Saya ingin sangat nak jumpa dia.
Kenapa? Nak macam Minang?
Mana nak tengok? Stream sekarang melalui Tonton. Tonton je, baru gempak.
The foreign news. The U.S. government officially shut down on Wednesday after Congress and the White House failed to reach an agreement on how to extend federal funding. The final vote was 55-45, falling short of the 60-vote threshold that would have passed the measure in the upper chamber. The shutdown will temporarily halt some U.S. government services and put the salaries of hundreds of thousands of federal employees on hold. The Senate rejected both Republican and Democratic proposals hours before the shutdown deadline, leaving the two parties unable to agree on a bipartisan deal. The main disagreement was over healthcare spending, including continued funding for the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. President Donald Trump's Republican Party controls both chambers of Congress, but in the Senate, it still needs Democratic support to reach the 60 votes required to pass a bill. Trump had earlier threatened mass firings and cuts to certain federal benefits that he said were important to Democrats. The longest shutdown in American history lasted 35 days and took place during Trump's first term in office.
Now, why do we care so much about them negotiating with us? It's not a point of pride. It's because Americans are hurting with higher costs throughout the country. Some of it's tariffs, some of it's energy costs, some of it's food costs. But one of the main reasons, and the one with the most immediate impact on raising Americans' costs, is skyrocketing costs of health care, all done by the Republicans.
And so Senate Democrats have sacrificed the American people to Democrats' partisan interests. Now, I hope it will be some comfort for Americans dealing with shuttered government services to know that MoveOn.org and other far-left organizations are happy with this vote.
Thousands of essential workers in the U.S. will still have to show up for work during the government shutdown. Many of them, however, including federal workers and law enforcement officers, will not receive new pay slips. Furloughed and essential employees will instead receive back pay when the government opens up again. The shutdown is also expected to affect flights. According to Air Traffic Control and Transportation Safety Administration, many workers have begun to call in sick, leading to delays in security checks at major airports. However, most other forms of public transit in the U.S., such as city buses, subways, light rails, trams, and ferries, are not federally funded, and so will run as normal. The U.S. government has now shut down 11 times over the past 40 years. The death toll from a powerful 6.9 magnitude earthquake that struck off the coast of Cebu in central Philippines rose to 69 on Wednesday, with nearly 150 people injured. The earthquake struck at 9:59 p.m. local time on Tuesday off the island's northern tip near Bogo. Earthquake monitoring agencies recorded the quake's depth at around 10 kilometers and reported multiple aftershocks, the strongest measuring magnitude 6.0. The quake caused power outages and damaged buildings, including the collapse of a church more than 100 years old. Rescuers scrambled to find survivors as army troops, police, and civilian volunteers, supported by backhoes and sniffer dogs, conducted house-to-house searches. Officials had earlier reported that many people were still pinned or struck by debris. Following the quake, local authorities declared a state of calamity in parts of Cebu. The earthquake comes barely more than a week after the country was hit by back-to-back typhoons, which killed more than a dozen people. Rescuers pulled a survivor from the ruins of a collapsed school in Indonesia on Wednesday as desperate parents demanded searches speed up efforts to find dozens more still believed trapped in the rubble. Rescuers said they had retrieved a survivor and a fourth body from the ruined building, but gave no details on either. Earlier, rescue teams ran oxygen, water, and food to potential survivors as 91 students remained trapped under the rubble for over 48 hours. Part of the multi-story school on the island of Java gave way suddenly on Monday as students gathered for afternoon prayers. At least 3 students were confirmed dead and over 100 were injured in the incident. Switching to sports, football, the AFC Champions League 2. Brazilian striker Anderson Lopez was the star of the show for Lion City Sailors as they sank Selangor FC 4-2 in their Group G clash at the Bishan Stadium, Singapore on Wednesday. Lopez fired the home side ahead in the 7th minute before doubling the lead just 6 minutes later. The Red Giants hit back in the 37th minute, with Shrigor Morris converting from the spot. Lopez then completed his hat-trick just before halftime to restore Lion City's 2-goal cushion, before adding his 4th in the 54th minute. Christopher Gamel's men refused to back down, with Faisal Halim adding Selangor's 2nd goal in the 73rd minute. Lion City, however, held on for the comfortable 4-2 win to top the group with 4 points, while winless Selangor remained bottom with none. On to cycling, the 2025 Le Tour de Langkawi. Matteo Malucelli maintained his fine form after claiming stage 4 to seal a hat-trick of victories in this year's race. Wednesday's stage covered 141.5 kilometers from Kuala Terengganu to Kemaman, featuring 3 intermediate sprints and 1 categorized climb. XDS Astana team rider Malucelli proved he remains the man to beat when it comes to bunch sprints after emerging victorious in 3 hours, 17 minutes and 56 seconds. Team Pulti Visit Malta's Manuel Peñalver and Uno X Mobility's Ellen Blikra took 2nd and 3rd, with Enrico Zanoncello and Mark Bustenga completing the top 5. The victory allowed Malucelli to keep both leaders' jerseys, the green for overall leader and the orange for points leader with 57 points. Meanwhile, Malaysia Pro Cycling's Izzat Hilmi Abdul Halil came in 7th and subsequently won the Best Southeast Asian Rider Daily Award. Stage 5 runs from Temerloh to a summit finish at Fraser's Hill, with sprints in Mentakap, Bukit Damar and Mempaga, followed by climbs in Rabu and Fraser's Hill. This time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as South Korea marks the 77th Armed Forces anniversary with a scaled-down ceremony. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and be well, Malaysia.